sports fans, diehards, and of course, bandwagon jumpers. I'm Cameron Tindal, and this is my brother Paris Tindal, and today we're going to be discussing everything from Peyton Manning all the way to Jeremy Lin.
We'll even be discussing college basketball for the first time on the show.
So we got a lot in store for you guys today, so stay tuned for Tindal Sports Talks, The Clutch Factor. For the latest in news, discussion, and analysis, I'm Cameron Tindal.
And I'm Paris Tindal.
And this is Tindal Sports Talk.
Welcome to Tindal Sports Talks, The Clutch Factor. I'm Paris Tindal. Let's get into some college basketball as I talk about who I feel is my top 3 teams in the country. Coming in at number 3, I have the Ohio State Buckeyes. I feel with Jared Sullinger in the front court, along with Aaron Craft and Denzel Smith Jr. in the backcourt, and behind the leadership of William Buford, I feel the Ohio State Buckeyes will make a deep run to the NCAA tournament and may even have a chance of winning the NCAA tournament. At number 2, I have the Missouri Tigers. The Missouri Tigers are very undersized, but it works for them. With those athletic and quick guards, they get to the hole very easily, and they can also shoot the 3. And then they also can get the ball inside to Ricardo Ratliff, the 6'8" center, who leads the country in field goal percentage at 75%. And coming in at number 1, I have the Kentucky Wildcats. The Kentucky Wildcats lead the country in field goal percentage defense behind Anthony Davis, who leads the country in block shots at 4.6 a game. I feel like the Kentucky Wildcats is balling the John Calipari system of playing defense in that dribble drive motion offense, and it's working for them perfectly right now. They have shown no flaws, and I feel like the Kentucky Wildcats, not easily, but I feel that they will become victorious in the NCAA championship. That does it for the college basketball portion of the show. Now, let's hear from Cameron.
And after the Giants' recent Super Bowl victory, Eli Manning's second Super Bowl and second Super Bowl MVP, it's been drawing a lot of comparisons between him and his older brother Peyton. In my opinion, if you think that Eli Manning is better than Peyton Manning simply because he has those 2 Super Bowls, then you're sadly mistaken. Peyton Manning is a 4-time MVP with a 2-to-1 interception ratio. Eli Manning has 0 league MVPs. He has a 1-to-1 at best interception ratio. And Peyton Manning has played in a time where defense actually existed. Now, Eli Manning plays in a league where defense has totally disappeared. I'm not taking anything away from Eli Manning's Super Bowls, but if Peyton played against the defense that Eli played against, then I believe that Peyton will have multiple Super Bowls. And let's not forget that Peyton Manning has lit up this league for years, and now that his brother has won these 2 recent Super Bowls in the past 4 years, and now all of a sudden Eli is better than Peyton, no sir. We cannot forget what Peyton Manning has done for this league, for the Colts, and just for the game of football altogether since he has been in the league. Peyton Manning is by far a better player than Eli Manning, and Peyton Manning is a Hall of Famer if he retired today. Eli Manning, I cannot say the same thing. So those who compare Eli and Peyton, take a second to go back and research some facts, and just go back and look at some old highlights, if you will, of Peyton Manning, and you will see what I'm talking about. And that's going to take us to our next subject, Peyton Manning's future. As we all know, Peyton Manning with his neck injury, there's been a lot of rumors about his lingering injury and his future, what team he's going to sign with. There's been a lot of talk lately that he's going to sign with the Washington Redskins if released by the Indianapolis Colts. I think this is a good fit for Peyton Manning. I think that Peyton Manning can go there and thrive. I think he has some weapons to work with in Washington. Plus, the Redskins are going to sign some more people to go along with him if he decides to sign there. And with Mike Shanahan at the coach, I feel like Peyton Manning has that coach that he needs to put him over that hump to get another Super Bowl. And besides, the Washington Redskins have a good defense as well, so Peyton Manning will have a lot to work with. So those who say that the Washington Redskins don't have enough of Peyton Manning, I think you're sadly mistaken. But on the other end, I don't believe that the Washington Redskins should get Peyton Manning. I think they should trade up to get Robert Griffin III in the draft, because I think that he's a better fit, and I think that the Redskins should go with a younger guy that they can polish and that they can take all the way from the bottom up. I feel like they should start fresh and stop trying to do all these projects, Donovan McNabb, Rex Grossman, all this. They need to get someone in the draft and go from there. And as far as I'm concerned, the Washington Redskins can compete if they get a quarterback. If they get Peyton Manning, then they can compete, and I feel like they would make the playoffs or at least compete for a playoff position. As far as Peyton Manning, I feel like it'll be a good decision for him to sign with Washington over Miami or Arizona or wherever else, unless the Jets open up an opportunity for him. With that being said, we're going to take you to our look back highlight of the day, and after that, we will discuss some Jeremy Lin, some of the New York Knicks problems, and some are they for real NBA teams when we return to Tindal Sports Talks, the Clutch Factor.
Status right now in Dallas after his last two performances. Durant, oh, and a foul. Kevin Durant throws it down, gets hit, and he'll get a chance for a three-point play.
My goodness, Kevin Durant off the out-of-bounds play says to Brendan Haywood, excuse me, I got an appointment with the rim. You're in his poster, big fella.
That's a 7-footer and a good defender as well. He went right at. Meanwhile, we have a technical foul called against Oklahoma City after the play.
Oh, that was just a ridiculous dunk on by Kevin Durant there. I just don't know.
What was Haywood thinking?
I have no idea, really. Like, I really would like to know what he was thinking. Welcome back to Tindal Sports Talks, the Clutch Factor, folks. I'm Cameron Tindal here with my brother Paris Tindal. And that dunk that you just saw kind of reminded me of that Blake Griffin monstrous dunk on Kendrick Perkins not too long ago. That was a monstrous dunk as well. But while we're on the subject of Blake Griffin, we're going to talk about the Clippers and if they are better than the Lakers or not. Do you think that the Clippers are a better team than the Lakers now?
Right now, I would say they are, simply due to the fact that before Chauncey Billups got hurt, their record was better than the Lakers. They won the head-to-head matchups. I feel like the Clippers were better than the Lakers, but as the road goes on without Chauncey Billups, they're going to miss him. I feel the Lakers will be better.
7-game series. Who are you taking, Clippers or Lakers right now?
Right now, I'm taking the Los Angeles Lakers. I mean, anyone could just say this due to the fact of Kobe Bryant's on the Lakers. But I'm taking the Lakers because of Andrew Bynum and Paul Gasol. I feel that Blake Griffin and DeAndre Jordan can't match up with Paul Gasol and Andrew Bynum in a 7-game series. Those guys are experienced. Bynum is finally healthy, make his first All-Star appearance later on this month. So I feel that the Lakers, with Kobe Bryant and alongside Paul Gasol and Andrew Bynum, can beat the Los Angeles Clippers in a 7-game series.
Well, you hit it right on point there, Perez. I really don't have to say much. I agree with you there. I believe that the Lakers can and will beat the Clippers if they play them in a 7-game series, especially with that huge injury to Chauncey Billups. I think that's going to hurt the Clippers in the long run, and I think that the Lakers will get the job done in 7, though. It won't take 6, 5, or 4. The Lakers will get the job done in 7 in L.A. Either way, it's going to be in L.A., but I feel like the Lakers will get the job done. Well, next up, we're going to talk about some other teams in the NBA that's been shocking people as well, other than the Clippers. And this is the Are They For Real segment of the show. Now, Paris, is this team for real? The Philadelphia 76ers.
The Sixers is a tricky bunch. Like, right now they're doing pretty well, but as you can see, they struggle against some teams, but some teams they won fairly easy against. As you saw, the Heat put a beating on them the other night, and the Spurs also handed it to them on their home court. So, really, right now, I'm saying the Sixers are not for real. I don't see them matching up with the Chicago Bulls and Miami in the playoffs. I say they can get to the second round. They can play against an Atlanta Hawks type team in the first round. But if they see with any of those top tier teams, Magic, Knicks, Heat, Bulls, I don't see them going far.
I agree with you there, Paris. I don't think that they can beat any of those top teams. I really don't think that they could beat Atlanta in a 7-game series either. I don't think the Sixers are for real. I think they are a decent team at best. You know, they'll be lucky to get into the second round. They could get into the second round, but nothing further than the second round for the Philadelphia 76ers. So sorry, fans in Philly. Next up, the Indiana Pacers, who have been playing pretty good this year.
I think the Indiana Pacers, they are for real. I feel that they're not really young, but they're not old either. They're a middle bunch team. I feel that Danny Granger is really becoming the star of that city, and the city's building themselves around them, getting off of that Reggie Miller pass thing. And I feel that with Roy Hibbert, he's made the All-Star game also. I feel that with Roy Hibbert, Tyler Hansbrough, and Dante Jones on the defensive end, that the Indiana Pacers can make a run in the NBA playoffs.
I'm going to have to disagree with you there, Paris. I don't think the Indiana Pacers are for real. I think they are a good team, just like the Philadelphia 76ers, but they are not ready to beat a team like the Miami Heat, the Orlando Magic even, maybe without that Dwight Howard, but not the Chicago Bulls, not even the New York Knicks. They may be able to beat the Hawks, but I don't see them beating any of the top tier teams in the East. So just like Philly, they'll be lucky to get into the second round, but anything past that is a dream for Indiana fans.
I don't see them beating any of those teams either, but they have all the makings to pull off upset.
Well, upsets happen, so they're just going to have to prove us wrong on that.
Yeah, you're right.
Next up is the Houston Rockets. What do you think about the Houston Rockets? Do you think that their winning record and their being seated in the top 4 seeds in the West right now is relevant? Do you think that's good? Do you think that Houston is going to finish in the top 4, or do you think Houston is going to make a run for the playoffs?
No. I don't feel the Houston Rockets are really a legitimate team right now. I mean, they let go of Jeremy Lin, who's playing great for the New York Knicks right now, to get Samuel Dallenberg. Really, like, what has he been doing? Like, I feel like the Rockets are going to break down eventually. Like, as you see, they struggle against the Suns. They'll get the Spurs and the top tier teams a hard game, but they'll lose. But then they'll struggle against the bottom of the pack teams. So I don't think the Rockets will make it.
I agree there. I think the Rockets could make the playoffs in the West, but I don't think they're going to make much noise. Louis Scola, Kevin Martin, all those guys, I think they're great. I think that they could possibly give a team some fits in the first round of the playoffs, and if they happen to match up with Portland and somebody, maybe they could win. But other than that, I don't think so. I don't think the Rockets are for real. But that's going to take us into our next question. Portland. Do you think that Portland is for real? Do you think that Portland can compete for an NBA title this year?
Portland Trailblazers can and will compete for an NBA title this year. When you play Portland at the Rose Garden up there in Oregon, Portland is extremely hard to beat. You guys, the Los Angeles Lakers and the San Antonio Spurs, about that. With LaMarcus Aldridge, this kid is special. He's been working on his game every offseason, getting better every year, and he's showing it right now alongside with those young guys like Wesley Matthews and Nicholas Batum. They're playing great. They have that energy, and the crowd is feeding off of it. And I think they're playing great right now. They can make a run in the playoffs.
Well, I'm going to have to agree with you there. I think that Portland's for real. I think LaMarcus Aldridge is underrated. Raymond Felton has been playing good this year. I feel like Portland could upset a couple teams. Maybe you could see them as a dark horse team to make it to the Western Conference Finals. I'm not predicting them to go to the Western Conference Finals. I'm just saying I would not be surprised if they made it. Along with Denver, I think that Denver is a very good team as well. And a lot of people are not talking about the San Antonio Spurs. Watch out for the San Antonio Spurs, folks. The Spurs are not done yet. They have at least one more last hurrah left in San Antonio.
And in San Antonio, you have to look. Manu Ginobili hasn't played since January 7th. And the Spurs are still the number 2 seed in the West. Ginobili returns Saturday against the New Jersey Nets. It's going to be big for the San Antonio Spurs. Watch them.
The Spurs overachieving. Now we're going to talk about a team that has been underachieving, to say the least. And that is the New York Knicks. What has been the problem with the New York Knicks this year, Paris?
The problem with the New York Knicks this year has been coaching alongside with point guard play. They could not find consistency at the point guard position, but I think they have found that in Jeremy Lin. Before Jeremy Lin came to New York, they were counting on Iman Shumpert along with Tony Douglas and Mike Bibby. You can't count on those guys. They've shown that they're not ready. Shumpert's he hasn't grown into that NBA field yet. Bibby's getting old. Tony Douglas, he's just out there sometimes. And Baron Davis is hurt, so Jeremy Lin coming in and stepping in is really bringing the Knicks some energy. As you can see in their recent games on their 4-game win streak, that the point guard play was really big for them. And then I say coaching. If they can get themselves a good ball coach, the New York Knicks will be an NBA contender every single year in the NBA.
As you said, Jeremy Lin, folks. I believe that this guy is for real, but him being for real is not the true question. The true question is how will he mesh when Carmelo Anthony and Amari Stoudemire return? That's the big question here. How will he do? Will he give up the ball to Carmelo Anthony? Carmelo Anthony is known as a ball stopper. Carmelo Anthony is the leading assist man on this team. I think that's the problem with the New York Knicks. Carmelo Anthony is not an assist man. He's having to do things that's out of his element, things that he's not used to doing. That's why the Knicks have been struggling. Now that they found that primary ball handler in Jeremy Lin, how will it affect the team when Carmelo Anthony and Amari Stoudemire returns? I'm interested in seeing that. I picked the New York Knicks to win the East. Not to win the East, to play in the Eastern Conference Finals against the Miami Heat this year. I'm not backing down on my pick. The Knicks are going to have to get together, and it's going to be interesting to see what they do when Baron Davis returns too. If Jeremy Lin keeps up this fantastic play, I'm very interested in seeing that.
I can see the Knicks becoming that Phoenix Suns type team that we saw back in the 06-07, back when they had the heated rivalry against the Spurs, where you saw Steve Nash and Stoudemire running those pick and rolls. I see that happening again, along with Carmelo Anthony, one of the top 5 players in the NBA. Things can get really shooken up in the East at the All-Star break.
I agree with you there, Paris. Well, folks, that's going to do it for this segment of Tindal